In 2021, we had some of the best and worst Community Day events in Pokemon Go. It's a new year, and I've got some new bold guesses, predictions for some pretty awesome, hopefully awesome, Community Days we'll see this year. And we're doing this here in Santa Monica because the event that's happening right now, a Mountains of Power event, I actually like a lot. And 12-kilometer race to start. I haven't hatched anything good from a 12K in my entire life. Also the pier, completely unlured. Let's get it. And we'll start with a bold prediction and statement. If this Pokemon is not the October Community Day of 2022, I will quit this game 100%. Litwick. Also, we have a cluster spawn and the research breakthrough box, which is the worst that's ever happened in my life. Litwick Shiny is something that we were hoping for in 2021 and 2020 and 2019. Not really, but 2021 we actually thought Litwick was for sure coming out to Community Day, and it never did, which sucked. So for the Halloween October Community Day this year, 2022, Onyx. Hoping for Litwick, really big. Also because Chandelure with Shadow Claw would actually be kind of a monster. Chandelure is already a decent Pokemon to use in raids, but it's not that great. It's outclassed by a lot of other Ghost-type Pokemon. So giving that thing Shadow Claw can actually make it pretty good. Plus, it's a really freaking cool Pokemon. And the shiny for Chandelure looks insane. It's black and orange. It's Halloween. October Community Day, Litwick. I am so far behind on this research, it's insane. The Mountains of Power, Season Heritage, Limited, Season... We gotta finish this. And we'll do this while I give the guaranteed Pokemon that will definitely 100% have a Community Day in 2022 this year. Starting off with number 1, Chespin. Obviously the starters. Now the nice thing with Chespin, although it is my least favorite starter Pokemon that has ever existed ever, I think it looks horrendous, it's actually got a pretty nice shiny, and Chestnut is decently ranked in the Go Battle League. So if Chestnut were to get some good moves, aka Frenzy Plant, it could actually be decently viable in GBL, even more viable than it already is, so that's pretty good. Also, we know for a fact what the starter moves will be just because they're the same thing every year. Blast Burn, Hydro Cannon, and Frenzy Plant. Speaking of Blast Burn, Fennekin would be my next guess. Fennekin with Blast Burn, obviously. Now, Fennekin is an amazing shiny, and as are its evolutions. They look incredible. So this is definitely one that I'm actually looking forward to. Fennekin, it's just another one of those older, I guess like later generation starters where like I'm just not that excited about Fennekin in general. But again, actually fantastic shiny, and the evolutions look great too. And then finally, the fan favorite out of the evolutions, or out of the starters, is gonna be the obvious Froakie, for the reason that Greninja is one of the best shiny starters to ever exist. Now, Greninja will obviously learn Hydro Cannon. It's an absolute fan favorite, again, just because shiny Greninja is one of the best shiny starters. Also, as we all know, Ash Greninja is some kind of pseudo-legendary, essentially, of Greninja. Now, I don't think Ash Greninja will come out during the Community Day. I feel like that will be a separate event, just because that's like a big thing, and you know Niantic, they can milk that kind of stuff. Who knows, maybe it'll be raid locked. Can't wait for that, huh? Absol. And again, those starters will have Blast Burn, Frenzy Plant, and Hydro Cannon, as they always do. This year, pretty solid year for starter Community Days. Beautiful day here in Santa Monica. Well, let's talk about this next batch of Community Day Pokemon that I think for sure we'll see this year. And let's get our Gumi hat. Before I forget this, I have 20 days left to forget this. Cool, we'll get our Gumi hat done. Ah, nice. And we got more rewards too, down. Something we've seen in the past year with Pokemon Go Community Days are Mega Pokemon being emphasized as a part of the Community Day. And for that reason, I think there's a couple of return Pokemon we're gonna see as part of Community Days this year that will most likely coincide with the release of the Mega of that Pokemon. First and foremost being the one I hope the most, Larvitar. We didn't really have like a Larvitar, we had a Larvitar Calm Day, but it was kind of a long time ago. It's a great shiny. Tyranitar is one of the most meta-relevant Pokemon in the game, and Mega Tyranitar will be, I think, the #1 rock-type attacker in Pokemon Go, even better than Mega Aerodactyl. So for us to have like a return Larvitar Calm Day with the release of Mega Tyranitar, that'd be pretty sick. Another one we haven't had for a very, very long time, and that has 2 potential Mega Evolutions, is Routes. Shiny Routes Calm Day happened years ago. I ended up getting a couple of them, not really that many, and I think a lot of people ended up missing that one, so it's actually a decent contestant for a return Community Day Pokemon. And Mega Gallade and Mega Gardevoir are both a thing, right? I'm correct here? I might be wrong. It has 2 different Mega Pokemon, which would make for a very exciting Community Day, assuming they release both mega forms. I don't know how they would differentiate between the, oh yeah, it evolves to different things, they evolve to different megas. Now we've never really seen Pokemon Go, speaking of mega, we got Mega Steelix Energy, we've never seen Pokemon Go double release a mega, so to release 2 megas at the same time, we'll have to see, I don't know. And the final new mega community day I think we might see is Bagon. The last Bagon community day was like, what, 2018, 2019? I just remember because I was in Berlin, Germany with A-Drive for that community day, and we had a lot of fun memories there. But we haven't seen much shiny Bagon since then, and Mega Salamence is gonna be a monster. Is this guy serious? He's just a walking noise box. So maybe a return Bagon community day with the release of Mega Salamence? That would be great! Kind of crazy, they shut down the entire pier, well, not half the whole pier today to shoot some movie or something. Kind of cool. Okay, last little pier cleanup cluster where we talk about some new potential shinies, the more exciting stuff, including the #1 shiny I think we all hope to see this year in general, let alone as a community day, Axew. Now, one thing I will say about Axew, we all know, because it's been a highly debated community day topic and release topic, there's a pool of several shiny Pokemon that are always way more difficult to get because they're always either raid locked or egg locked or they just never spawn. Examples are Gibble, Dino, Shinx, Timber, Pokemon like that. Now, Shinx got a community day, Gibble got a community day. Who's next? I honestly don't think it will be Axew. I feel like Axew, as it is now, it's like a 10-kilometer egg Pokemon. Very rarely you'll ever see it in the wild. Axew will most likely be released shiny and replace Gibble or Shinx as a super rare 10-kilometer egg and 1-star raid shiny Pokemon. And this seems to be what everyone else is speculating as well. For a community day, probably end up seeing it 2023, but the shiny, hopefully this year. Now that brings me to another one. One that might have the same exact path as I think Axew will have, but I hope not. Goomy! Goomy's a really, really rare Pokemon, and it's got a fun shiny. Now I don't know if it, Goodra is meta-relevant at all, or even can be meta-relevant with good moves, but it could be a fun community day, and maybe good for PvP, but a fun shiny. I think Goomy will definitely see shiny come out this year, hopefully a comm day for it, that'd be sick. But again, it might be a Shinx replaceal. Also on the list of new shinies that I think might come for community day, Drillbur. The reason being, Drillbur is actually very highly ranked when it comes to ground type attackers in Pokemon Go. It's kind of a monster and it always has been. We also don't have shiny Drillbur in Pokemon Go, and although it is only a you can only evolve it once. It's not a 3-stage evolution. Sorry, Excadrill. I meant to say Excadrill. Its evolution Excadrill is a monster. But the one problem is it already has kind of good moves, so I don't know what else they'd give it. But that's on my list of guesses. And finally, for new shinies, I think Hoppip would make for a great community day. It is a 3-stage evolution. All the shinies look really, really good. Jumpluff is honestly a fun Pokemon. It's not super meta relevant, so, you know, maybe giving it like a pretty solid community day move could actually bring it up in the ranks a little bit. Now I want to talk about return shinies, aka Pokemon that have already had their shinies released in Pokemon Go, but I think would make for some good comm days, especially this year. Now we're gonna head home to go over the rest of this list because it's 2:30 p.m. and I haven't had lunch yet. But first, Slugma checks. Alright, let's go home. And we're back. Also just realized I filmed that entire video on manual focus. Sorry if it was out of focus. Let's talk about return shinies. What return shinies do I think will maybe make a community day appearance this year? Starting off with Nidoran, male and female, and the reason why is because it would make for actually a really fun community day. Also, Nidoking and Nidoqueen are kind of useless Pokemon in Pokemon Go. I don't think community day moves would make them, maybe they would make them all like better, at least maybe in GBL. So like, that's something, but Nidoran male and female obviously are technically different Pokemon. They have different shinies and they evolve into different things which have different shinies. So it would be like a double community day in one. Could be a fun one. Another Pokemon that will probably get Shinxed or Gibbled, it's Timber. Timber has been, it's a much more low-key Pokemon because it's like less exciting than Dino, but it's still pretty useful. Conkeldurr isn't that bad in Pokemon Go, and Timber has been raid and egg locked since its beginning, and its shiny has been raid and egg locked as well. So it will most likely eventually be one of those Shinx or Gibble-like Pokemon that will come out in Community Day, and its shiny will be available for everyone, and I expect that to happen possibly, probably this year. Again, Conkeldurr is a decent fighting type Pokemon, so with the right move set, I'm sure it could be lifted in the ranks of fighting types. It's pretty good. I use it in raids, so that'd be a great one. And finally, one that I kind of hope we see just because it's a cool shiny. I don't have really many of them. Timple. Timple would be a great little addition here for Community Day. It is a 3-stage evolution. All the shinies look great, and the evolution line is pretty freaking epic. And you know, like Seismitoad's kind of a beast. Again, not really sure of Seismitoad's meta relevancy in anything, but really anything with the right moves could be decent, right? Probably not right, but maybe. And now that we're this deep in the video, and I feel like everybody who works at Niantic probably already clicked off, we can talk about the last section of Community Day Pokemon for 2022, the garbage can. The shiny Pokemon I hope to not see as part of any Community Days in 2022, but we probably will see some of these. Starting off with Aeron. Listen, Shiny Aeron's been out for a while. It is a 3-stage evolution, and Aggron has a Mega, so it makes sense to do an Aeron Calm Day. I can almost guarantee an Aeron Calm Day this year. It just makes too much sense to not have one, but I just don't want an Aeron Calm Day. But again, it's a 3-stage evolution, and it has a Mega, so probably will end up seeing it. I swear to God, if we see Slackoth this year, a return Slackoth Calm Day, I'm throwing my phone. Slacking is not good at anything except for laying there. Now granted, I do like Slackoth's shiny, but the Slacking shiny is not good. Slacking is not good. Please God, don't make this a calm day. Another one, Wurmple. Wurmple would honestly make a good Community Day because it is a 3-stage evolution with 4 different evolutions, all of which have pretty cool shinies. At least Dustox and Beautifly, they have great shinies. The only thing is they suck. They're not good. They're too low CP. They're just not good. They're not good Pokemon for Calm Day because they're not relevant in raids. They're not relevant in PvP, nothing. They're not good. I think Wurmple is better left a rare shiny that people have fun catching than a Calm Day shiny just because it's so not useful, but we might see Wurmple. Another return one that has a Mega that I hope we don't see is Mareep. It's been a long time since we had a Mareep Community Day, and it's not really featured in many events, so I could definitely see them doing a Mareep Returns Community Day this year with obviously bonuses for Mega Ampharos, which is already released in Pokemon Go. But again, it would make sense. It's been a long time since Mareep Calm Day. It's got a Mega. I will literally cry if Zubat gets a Calm Day. After all the hard work I put in to get my 3 shiny Zubat, if that thing has a Calm Day, I'll be pissed. But it's a 3-stage evolution. The shiny looks great, and Crobat, although it kind of sucks now, might be better if it was given Community Day moves. I just don't want that to be a Calm Day. And also something similar that also has a Mega. Pidgey. Pidgey is just a fun meme Pokemon. It used to be like an XP farmer, and now Mega Pidgeot is a decent Mega Pokemon, especially if you need to, you know, boost flying type Pokemon in a raid for some reason. It's also a very pretty Mega Pokemon. It's a pretty shiny, but to give Pidgey a Calm Day, I just think it's a waste of a Calm Day. Again, I know it's got a Mega. I know it's like, you know, it's a fun little shiny. It's a meme Pokemon. It's good for XP evolution, grinding if people still do that. But like, come on. There's so many more epic Pokemon to have for a Calm Day than Pidgey, but might be something we see. And those are my guesses for 2022's Community Day Pokemon, hopefully coming and hopefully not coming in the near future. Let me know in the comments, out of that list, which one is your favorite, and let me know what you think we'll see in 2022 as part of the Community Day events. See you next video, my friends. Peace out.